Hello, how are you doing, guys? It's nice to see you. It's another Agony Uncle section. That's right, I've taken all your agony, piled it upon my shoulders, my broad, manly shoulders. That's right, 41. Look at them shoulders. That's swimming. That's all the swimming I'm doing recently. And I digress. And I've come to answer your problems. Now, this is a bit of a more free-flowing one, and the reason for this one is because, try as I might, I can't find this bugger's question. He sent me a question through Facebook and I can't find the comment. He sent it as a comment and I was like, yep, okay, I'll do this video, but life has gotten in the way and I've let a few things slip. And here I am like 2 weeks later going, where's that guy? So I don't even remember your name, dude, but I'm going to say your name is A, okay? Thank you very much for sending me your comment. I'm going to paraphrase your message, because I think it's a good question. And it raises a lot of things that we, as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, used to do. So I think it's a fun one too. The question went along the lines of this. I have a family friend, a family member, I think it was an older couple. And I'm really good friends with them. We have a really good relationship. And they're Jehovah's Witnesses, but they don't bother me and they don't annoy me, even though I think he was one. And the question was, they're a bit old now, I think they were in their 60s or 70s. Should I let them know that it's a cult? Or should I just let them go about their life blissfully? Die peacefully, I suppose, is the ultimate answer, the ultimate question there. And just, live in happy ignorance. Well, I found this a really interesting question because I remember many times that as a Jehovah's Witness, I used this argument. I used this defense of telling old people that their religions were wrong, because people would tell me this. It was cruel that you would go around the doors and tell people that what they believed was wrong. Because boy, didn't we do that? And I remember saying this. Well, if you'd been told a lie your entire life, wouldn't you want to know it was a lie? I suppose that's a real arrogant, stupid young person thing to say now in retrospect, because I was 17 or 16 or 18, whatever, when I said it, and I thought that my views held some merit, but they didn't really. So my previous young man answer to you would always have been, yeah, tell them immediately, they must know the lie. But then you've got to temper it with a bit of age and a bit of wisdom and say, well, I've got a 9-year-old or an 8-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. What I really want to know, when I was on my deathbed, hey Neil, they ain't yours. I might prefer to be left in happy ignorance of that. They're definitely mine though. Oh yeah, son's got a big bald head just like me. He doesn't. It's the daughter. No, so what I'm saying is that yes, there is an argument for leaving people in happy ignorance, but there's a couple more points. I feel like that scene in The Princess Bride when he goes, a wise man would know that I would have poisoned the glass, but he would know that you poisoned the glass, and he keeps swapping the glasses around. I feel like this in this video, okay? But that's a brilliant scene, by the way, if you ever get to see it. It's The Princess Bride, okay? What I would say about that. So we've got the one, right? Previously I would have said, yeah, tell them. Then now the adult in me says, they're old. Now, but I want to tell you something else. When I left the JWs, right, which is 16 years ago now, give or take, okay? When I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, I went and told the presiding overseer, him and his wife. Now, they were very good friends of mine, sort of in external ways and not just Jehovah's Witness ways. I went rock climbing with the presiding overseer a lot, and we were good friends. We went walking in the mornings a lot. So we had this external relationship outside being Jehovah's Witnesses. And when I brought the books to him and his wife and asked them to read them, I didn't really know what to expect, other than what I hoped was that they were going to show me why it was all lies. But they did not, obviously, because it's not. And what they did do, though, to their credit, is they quit the Jehovah's Witnesses immediately. They packed it in. He quit being a presiding overseer slightly beforehand, but they were gone within a few weeks, and that was it. And they've never been disfellowshipped, and they've never properly disassociated themselves, but they go to other churches and stuff, and they're not bothered whatsoever. Why I'm telling you that is because he was probably 60 then, at least 55, 60. She's a bit older. Now she's probably on her last legs now. He's getting quite elderly too. I still visit them quite often, although we don't go climbing anymore. I take my kids instead. But I ask myself this question: was their life better when they left the Jehovah's Witnesses? And I have to say, undoubtedly, it was. They had lived in a house where they were able to buy. They had been considering. They had thought all along their lives that the end of the world was coming. So why bother? But this totally changed their viewpoint. They immediately, bought their own house. They've paid that house off. They're now elderly people with money in the bank as opposed to being paupers, as so many Jehovah's Witnesses elderly people are. They went on to have loads more experience outside in other churches. They went on, the man went on to write his memoirs, which I reviewed in one of my old videos about a year and a half ago. So they had a much richer and fuller life, even though they were elderly people. So I do think that there's a value to it. I suppose the only question you could ask yourself is, why are you doing it? Why might you want to do it? And how do you think that would come across? How do you think that's going to work with them? I think it's nearly impossible for you to know. So don't be too hard on yourself. But at the same time, if you think these people are going to be absolutely devastated, if you think it's going to lead them to shun you, to make a stand, then what's the point? But at the same time, if you feel that these people have an intellectual capacity that they could, they could benefit from actually knowing the truth about the truth, then I would probably certainly do it in stages and drop some truth bombs, as I call them, little facts about the witnesses, and just let them know that not all is rosy in the garden. If they're long-term Jehovah's Witnesses, they'll know it already, but they'll have just shut off. They'll be wearing the blinkers and they won't be looking. And if you can sort of get it in front of the blinkers and say, hey, look at this, the king's got no clothes, they may well say, yeah, okay, the king's not no clothes. But more importantly, they'll probably tell you at that point whether or not they're prepared to listen in the first place anymore. Take my parents, for example. My parents were quite happy to accept the non-truth of the witnesses. They weren't happy, but you know what I mean. They were prepared to listen after a period of time of softening them up. Okay, but subsequent to that, I've gone on to become pretty agnostic. I believe in evolution. I don't believe the Earth is 7,000 years old. I don't believe man and dinosaurs lived together. But if you were to have a lot of that conversation now, I don't believe, for instance, that there's necessarily an afterlife. But if you were to have those conversations now with my parents, they would make it very clear very soon that was not a conversation they wanted to have. So I don't bother anymore. What's the point? So I think it can be done respectfully and tactfully. Certainly I wouldn't rule it out. Bear this rambling video in mind, and I hope it gives you something to think about. And I hope you do well, and I hope they do well, because, people deserve to know the truth about the truth, so long as they can. Thanks, guys.